So, Devils, J-dawg back to answer some more goddamn questions. But before we go over questions, I got a fucking shout out to give and also a comment to make on the fucking Glen Benton interview. Because the reason I did is because right before I went to go do my video here, I bring up what's the next video in fucking line, and I just pull it up. And sometimes lately, because some of the fucking pink panties have been bitching, like, yeah, don't you know the question's ready or whatever? I just look for the first question. All right, here we go. Then I go from there. So it's as raw as it can be, even though fucking K-dawg, V-dawg, Cavalk guy, or whatever says it's not raw dog. It's fucking 80% raw dog. Fine, however the fuck you want to word it. But anywho, before I was doing that, that's usually when I check out the video of the day. Oh, what it is went up. Okay, cool, sounds good, no problems. Like I don't listen. I just skim through. Okay, audio. I always just worried that the audio's not going to translate or whatever when I upload it. So I always just make sure to check with them before the first 24 hours, and then I skim through the questions. And the two things I wanted to mention, like I said, is a shout out to fucking Joe's Metal Man Cave. I never even heard of him. Somebody said, "Did you see the video he did where he did an intro about like imitating me?" And I was never even heard of him, so I went over like literally 5 minutes ago and watched it. I was laughing. I thought it was fucking hilarious and great. I never heard of him. I don't know if he watched the channel. I don't know if he's ripping on me or if he likes me, but nonetheless, I thought the intro was fucking hilarious, and that even that he thought it was that I have any worth whatsoever to even make a video about. So pretty cool shit. Definitely enjoyed it, and I'm definitely going to go check out his channel. It seems like he's doing a very similar thing to me, just sitting in front of a goddamn camera and talking shop, right? So all about that. So I'll check it out. Check it out. Like know nothing about him, don't know where he's from, never heard of him. But yeah, well, nonetheless, I'm gonna watch a few of his videos because just that intro. I just assumed it was his last video, which it seemed like what did he say 2 weeks ago or whatever. So he's not doing a video like every day or anything. So I guess that intro's kind of old even. So or not old, but he's older. So shout out to him, and I will check out a few of your videos here in the next day or two. Blah, blah. And then also I want to comment because getting question on the last two videos I noticed about the Glen Benton interview. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. You brought that up. Me and Elcat had to go to fucking drop Brody off at karate practice just Monday night was the day it was posted. And I don't know, I kind of know why I did, but at the same time, I don't know why. I'm talking about going to possibly the Columbus show this Saturday. It'll be over by the time I post this fucking video. This Saturday to see Deicide as well. I have the Cleveland tickets for Tuesday, but my buddy Woody's going to be down there, and he's like, hey, man, if you come down, I could definitely have you meet Glenn. Well, we have a family birthday party to go to, so I don't know if I'll have time. But anyways, we were talking about that, the Deicide show on Saturday, and just Glenn was on my mind or whatever. So I typed in Glen Benton interviews to see if anything new popped up. Usually about every once a year or so, I search Glen Benton interviews because I was listen to them all because, as you guys know me, Deicide's one of my favorite bands. And Glenn, I just think's a funny guy, interesting guy, and kind of like his views on a lot of things. And so I did watch the interview, and but when I posted, it was like posted 5 hours ago. I'm like, what the fuck? Holy shit, brand new Glenn interview in studio and an hour long. Thought it was a very, very good interview. Go over and check it out. Just type in, I don't even remember what the name of the fucking channel was. He did a very, very good job. Few little minor criticisms, not that he asked them or gives a fuck what I think, and I'm pretty sure his channel's running circles around mine, is in the interview, he's like, yeah, I'm 36 years old. Yeah, this is the first time I saw Deicide. Where the fuck you been, bro? 36 years old. You're 20 years younger than me. How the fuck have you never seen Deicide? Sounds like you just got into this shit last week. And then when I was also searching through some of his past videos, like, fuck, he interviewed Glenn. Maybe, dude, who knows? Did he interview King Diamond as well, or Corpse Grinder, or somebody else fucking cool? And I was searching through, I was like, oh, no wonder I haven't heard of this guy. I mean, he's just like, he likes all the fucking garbage that I can't fucking stand, which nothing wrong with that. That's cool. Like we said, bands like Deicide, Morbid Angel, Can of Corpse, etc., can be like gateway bands. And if he seemed passionate about the band, he seemed to really enjoy it and like it, but definitely a total newbie. You got to start somewhere. Just thought it was kind of a little strange that he's a newbie at 36 years old. Usually a newbie by like 20 at the latest. But nonetheless, better late than never, right? So that's probably why I never heard of his channel, because he was interviewing like Korn or Korn producers or something. Oh man, no wonder I never heard. Like I would never listen to this shit in a million years. You couldn't pay me to listen to this crap. So that's why. But just go over and watch that video. Really, really good video. And what did I say? People will fucking goddamn backing me up. What did I motherfucking tell you? The old legendary Devils. They don't listen to metal. So even my buddy Dan Merle, I gotta shoot him a text. Check out their Glenn interviews. I've been meaning to. I just forgot. He came down here. Dan's the only guy that gets a goddamn bin. He buys more merch than fucking anybody. So he gets a bin. He lives 30 minutes away. Racks up the fucking orders. They go on his bin, and he comes and picks them up, right? And he was down here like last week before, something like that. And he's like, hey, man, I listened to your Glen Benton poser video today. He's like, So he goes, yeah, no, I disagree with you, man. He's like, Glenn, he likes metal. He's like, I'm sure he listens to like classic rock. He's like, but I've heard. He's like, because he's hung out with Glenn in the early '90s and shit. And I was like, maybe he does, whatever. And but he said, but I told my points, well, interviews I said, I was like, well, dude, he said in other interviews, I was like, that he doesn't listen to fucking metal bands because he doesn't want any other influences. And it just bits here and there. Anyways, you listen to this fucking interview. He says exactly what the fuck I said to these. What I appreciate about Glenn is he's fucking honest. At least he was like, I like the fucking heavy bands, and then he mentions Black Sabbath and fucking Iron Maiden. No, he literally says I don't listen to the fucking heavy bands. He didn't say those exact words, but literally I don't listen to this stuff because he doesn't want influences. That's a hell of a lot more respectable. Not at least not claiming to like heavy shit, and you don't even like heavy shit. He point blank says I listen to pretty much Rush, and I think he said one or two other things, but hard rock bands. Does not listen to fucking death metal whatsoever anymore. Now, yeah, growing up, he said he did like Seven Churches a lot, Nasty Savage. Mentioned a couple other things too. Venom. He mentioned Venom, and that doesn't surprise me the least. Man, that's fucking awesome. But I get the vibe he doesn't even listen to that anymore. He may on occasion maybe bust it out once every 3, 4, 5 years, but yeah, he's damn sure not listening to fucking. For example, when Infest Dead came out and they did the hell fucking shit releases in the '90s, has he even heard those? I don't know. Maybe he digs people like check out this Deicide worship, but he's not listening to that shit. And that's not again, it's not an attack on the guy. I'm a huge fucking Glen Benton fan, probably the biggest fucking Deicide fan you'll ever meet. But I'm just calling it like it is. I was like, I'm just telling you a fact because it got brought up as a conversation. These older guys, they don't listen to fucking metal. And at least Glenn was fucking honest about it. And a few people were like, oh, dude, well, J-dawg, 100% right. Watch the fucking interviews. Like, it was like spot on what he said. So, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's just the way the fuck it is. And again, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing or that now Deicide sucks and now I don't like it or he's a fucking poser. I'm just saying the only reason why I brought it up as a conversation, the way the whole conversation got stemmed with all this is, actually, I do know. Conversations got stemmed because there's somebody in my personal life. I'm not going to mention names because I don't want to stir any fucking personal drama in my own personal life. But they're doing like metal music, but they're not even into metal music. Or they're kind of getting out of metal music. And I said, I think it was to fucking Elcat, actually. So I kind of stumped out of the channels to the topic of conversation. I was like, what I don't get, so I was just using these guys as examples that don't listen to the heavy bands, but claim they do. I was like, why are they doing like even Glenn's in there too. Why is he doing a death metal band if he doesn't like death metal music? It's not a jab. It's not I'm better. It's not anything. I've always generally wondered that. Like I was curious because, for example, like I'm not a musician, right? But if I was, I don't listen to hip hop. Never listen to hip hop, and I have no interest in hip hop. It's literally like me starting a hip hop fucking group. I'm going to do hip hop music. Why? Why don't you just do the music you like? Even Glenn, I'm glad he started death metal bands. It's like one of my very inspirational on me, right? And what I love. But to me, it's like, if you love Rush and that stuff, why did you try playing a band like Rush? Like, why didn't you? I'm kind of curious. Now, I get why he's not now. He started DSI fucking 35 years ago, and he's capitalized. I said, oh, fuck, this is what pays the bill. Got to keep doing it. So I get it now why he's doing it. But my question is, why did he kind of start? Yeah, he got into the heavier stuff, but it still sounded like he preferred just the classic rock even then at the time. I could be a little bit wrong on that because he did say that he liked stuff in the 80s, etc. But a lot of these guys that don't like it or don't listen to it, all they listen to classic rock. I'm like, well, why do you have an interest to play in a death metal band then? Again, it's not that it's wrong. If you're putting out killer tunes, hey, cool. It's my, I guess your law, maybe your gain too, but my gain, you know what I mean? Possibly your gain too, if you capitalize on it, if you're reaching whatever goal or mission you do. It's just, I would feel like a phony, a fake, and just, I would also feel like I'm wasting my time. Kind of like, it's like if you have a job, you go get a career, and you're like, let's say you're sitting in a cubicle, and let's say you're making $1 million a year. Yeah, but you're absolutely miserable. You cannot stand it. You hate every fucking second of it. Are you really successful then? Yeah, financially, I guess you are, but you're miserable as fuck. You just dread getting out of bed in the morning. You can't stand it. Well, I'm not saying that fucking Glenn can't stand his music or Tom Warrior or any of them, but it's like, wouldn't you be much happier playing the stuff that you enjoy too? The stuff that you're like, wow, that I like Rush a lot. I'm playing like stuff that's similar to Rush. Doesn't have to be a Rush ripoff or anything, but I love classic rock. That's my preferred style of music that I enjoy listening to. Wouldn't you be more fulfilled if you made your living off doing music because you like music, but classic rock music because that's what you're passionate about? It just doesn't make sense to me because, again, if I wanted to start a band, it would be a metal band. It'd be either a death metal band, a black metal band, a grindcore band. It would be shit that I listen to. So it's not an attack or jab of these guys. It's literally me, and it's a legitimate. Like, I'm not saying it to be a smartass. I legitimately kind of confused. Like, I don't. Why were you interested in starting that? Again, it's like me starting hip hop or a country band or a fucking J-Dawg's gonna be a rapper. I just not into that. I never was in that. Why would I start it? Let's start off with something that I do listen to that I'm passionate about. If it goes somewhere, goes somewhere. If it don't, it don't. So that's all I was fucking saying. But the Glenn interview was really good. Check it out. And yep, just another old devil doesn't listen to metal, and admits it. I was 100% fucking correct. Anywho, let's get some questions knocked out in the last goddamn half of this fucking video. Thomas Lindbergh, boring and lame with horrible fashion, according to one of the devils, posted 2 weeks ago. 97 fucking comments. Only 97, goddamn it. Showed on the first one from Goatman, goddamn it. Hey, J-Dawg, what's the most unlistenable band or demo that is awesome to listen to? Honestly, I think some early Niagara Bliss is pretty unlistenable, but that's what makes it good. I can see that, yeah, because the Niagara Bliss, I didn't really dig it, but I understood their shtick. It's supposed to be over the top, extreme, but it's it's not something exactly tapping your foot down or fucking arm out the fucking window jamming. You know what I mean? Fucking get the goddamn toll booth window down. That'll be 350, sir. Clock your cash. What the fuck's this guy listening to? But I know exactly what you mean. It's funny. No one's ever asked that question. I don't doubt anyone's even really ever thought about that question. For me, the first one that pops in my mind, and I know there's others, is the Nunslaughter Rotting Christ demo. It sounds like utter ass, but I like it, especially how the vocals came out. Now, I will say this. If I didn't know the songs, because they're on the Ritual Darkness demo as well, which sounds better, and also make it to Hell's Unholy Fire, etc., by the time I heard the Rotting Christ demo, I already knew those songs very well. Like Death by the Dead's on there, I Am Death, was there Cataclysm maybe on there. The songs that are all on there is I knew the songs very, very well, the songs and the words. If I didn't know the actual songs, I don't know if I would like the demo or not. I'm not saying I wouldn't, I don't know. But hearing it sound like that and knowing the songs, I can still make out what's going on. I enjoyed it for that reason. But yeah, very chaotic. And the average person, even people into underground music, actual guys in underground music, not guys that claim they like heavy shit and that don't, but the real guys that do, the average one of them would even be like, dude, what the fuck? This sounds like fucking ass. But that one I do enjoy. But for example, like Mayhem Pure fucking Armageddon demo, that's complete ass unlistenable. And part of the reason that it is because the vocals, I mean, it's been like 20 years since I listened to it, but I listened to it like twice. It's like, it's so shitty sounding, you can't even, don't forget making out what the guy's saying or anything. I'm not being one of those trying to understand what the guy's saying. It's black metal. Well, fuck. Which ones can you for the most part? No, you literally can't even hear the vocals. I mean, if you can't even hear the vocals, they're not even audible. It's fucking stupid. So I always remember that being just a complete turd piece of shit demo. You know what I mean? As opposed to like the Freezing Moon demo, the 2 tracks that was fucking phenomenal. Human Brisket, morning dog. As a kid, did your parents ever take you to see a wrestling match? Nope, they never did. I have seen one wrestling match in my life, and it was in France. I think I was 24, 25, and that was with my ex-wife, my wife at the time. And it was over in France. We went. I didn't know who any of the current guys were, because again, when I watched wrestling and I liked it, it was all guys from like the late 80s, early 90s. I started watching it probably like 90, 91, and then stopped probably when I was about age 10 or so. I stopped paying attention. So by 95, I wasn't paying attention to put in perspective. So 20, let's say I was 24 years old. Sounds about 24. Let's just say 24 at the absolute earliest, but I might have been 25. That would have been 2009. So literally, what is that, from 95 at the latest that I was watching it? Was that 14 years? It's 2009? That's about right, yeah. So that big of a fucking gap that I wasn't paying attention. So I didn't know who any of the guys were, but I was thoroughly entertained. I got to say, it was a good show. I was thoroughly entertained. Got some fucking corn. Um, I can't do any of that shit, like the moves and stuff. Yeah, I thought I was entertained, to say the least, even though I didn't know who the guys were. Icy Dio, hey J Buff, are you into sneakers or do you even care what's on your feet? I rarely see any metalheads who are sneakerheads. I am not personally. Yeah, I'm the guy that literally, dude, my fucking shoes, I get holes in them and I don't buy new shoes just because I don't care. I'm like, hey, like water ain't leaking into them. and literally fucking Elcat gets so embarrassed by him that she goes out and gets me new shoes. She just knows the rule. They got to be all black, goddamn it, with no fucking gay ass markings on them. Harry Quinn, J-Dawg. There may be an obvious answer to this, but I'm going to ask anyways. What do you think? Grindcore has more similarities and is more aligned to metal or hardcore punk? My opinion is the latter, especially bands like Repulsion. When I'm listening to bands like that, I'm thinking of guys, no homo, in parentheses, who worship Discharge and NA, not Venom and Slayer. NA, what is it? You talking about Negative Approach? I would be sick to hear if Limp Wrist had blast beats. Brisket. I always kind of considered it honestly the true grindcore before it got into stuff like gore grind. With bands like Carcass, General Surgery, Dead Infection. When it was just straight up grindcore, Repulsion, Napalm Death, Terrorizer, those being the really early ones that I fucking love. Um, I kind of consider it more of a mix of, definitely hardcore and punk with death metal just mixed in it. That's what made it grindcore. Um, it was just fucking threw it in a blender. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I didn't consider one over the other. I mean, some obviously you could hear a little bit more, like maybe like on Scum, you could hear a little bit more fucking punk and hardcore in parts over like the death metal. But I thought that's what was kind of fucking great about it. And then later bands they carried over too that seemed to have that same mix when it was just traditional grindcore, Gothically Phobia, things like that. But when they got more to the gore grind shit, I think it was less of the hardcore and punk and more the death metal, but just trying to be extra guttural in a sense, I guess. That's at least how it started, especially with the pitch shifting vocals and things. And not that that's a negative. Actually, a lot of the gore grind is what I liked. It just got but the late 90s and definitely the 2000s just started to get silly a lot of times. Was just kind of getting carried away, and a lot of it was trying to be extreme just to be extreme. But I was like, we got no fucking songs. But certain other bands, definitely carried it on and did it very, very well. I mean, just Scorch Mexico was definitely comes to my mind. I think it was a gore grind band that carried it on that didn't just sound like, oh, it sounds like fucking Symphonies of Sickness. It was very extreme, but thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed it. You know what I mean? So there's bands that did it, but they're becoming more, for me, the gore grind, the bands I liked, I was a big, big, big fan of, and for whatever reason, people think that's like primarily what I like. But it's funny is like as far as quantity of bands, it seems like I like less because it's just like a lot of it's like either again they don't have songs. I was like it's extreme, yeah, it is extreme. They either don't have songs, or I'm like it's they do have basically one or two songs, but this is repetitive as fuck. That all the songs sound the same, or thirdly is that it was just like, oh, this again, like it's kind of like what the fuck, man. It sounds like all the others that are trying to do it. Like again. I mean, I did like a lot of Carcass clone wannabe bands, but reason being, bands like Hemorrhage and General Surgery and now Pharmacist, I just couldn't get past how enjoyable I thought their songs were. Yeah, they did. It wasn't nothing new, and it did sound like. I mean, granted, Hemorrhage they threw in like it's kind of like they took Carcass but added a little bit of a punk edge to it. And I mean, who the fuck? How do you not like Hemorrhage? I mean, unless you don't like extreme stuff, or you don't like anything with guttural vocals whatsoever. I don't see how the fuck you can't like Hemorrhage. Catchy as a motherfucker. Like I love everything about them. They were just so goddamn catchy and memorable, and like I just don't know how you can't. I don't see how you can't like them. To be honest, I kind of don't see how you can't like them. I know some fucking wise ass in the comments. All right, listen, Hemorrhage, they suck shit. That's fine. I don't care. For me, it's a little weird. Nothing wrong with it. You can think fucking later Celtic Frost better. I just for me, I'm just like this is to me is impossible not to like. It's like putting on a fucking having some pizza. How do you not like this? You know what I mean? Okay, one more goddamn question. This seems like too many questions. Like I said, there's only 97 comments. People putting in their talk, a lot of at the gates talk. People putting in their 2 cents on them, which is no right or wrong answer. Like I said, I like Slaughter of the Soul. Um, Not even gonna call that just funny. It's so funny because back in the day, you were kind of like, I want to say crucified, but look at like that's the Poser record, man. What are you talking about now? Everybody says it's fucking great. The early albums, they were respectable death metal. I just always thought it boring. Grotesque sent them home on a fucking stretcher. But people put their 2 cents in there, like them, love them, hate them. No right or wrong answer. I mean, legendary band for sure, though. Ryan and Zerda, too. J-Dawg, quick question and comment. Is HHR still working with Cemetery Lust? Any future releases from them in the works? And your what is this? And your pronunciation of my last name is close enough. Oh, sweet. I'm not butchering it too much. It's a Dutch name, and yes, it's awkward coming off the tongue when said in English. If you want, it's cool just to call me out by Ryan. Ryan I. Ryan I. Cheers, bro. Okay, yeah, keep in mind, but Ryan Itzerda too is how I'm saying it. So maybe it's I Itzerda in Dutch. And it's funny. That's a pretty good question because Dylan watches the channel. I don't know if he watches every fucking episode, but if he sees this one, he can chime the fuck in on it. Got anything new, Dylan? I maybe send over to Chase and Chase did it, but yeah, I'm up for working with Cemetery Lust. I like everything by them. My favorite is the Screams of the Violated. That was the first thing I heard. I remember I had the self-release version, which is like a CDR. And when I first heard it, I think Dylan sent this to us just in a promo package, and I think I was the first one to hear it, or maybe Craig opened it because he was doing the mail. He said, "Hey, this is for you to check out," or something like that. But I instantly loved it, and I told Eric and Chase about it. And I remember Eric's like, "Yeah, this is fucking great." And then Chase was like, "Yeah, it's good stuff," or whatever. But he didn't say much about it. And then Dylan, the first time I met him, he came up to us at MDF. It might have been 2015, I think. And he brought up that pack, and I said, "Dude, I was all over it. I was all about it." I was like, "You got to talk to this fucking lame-o right here fighting the Chase." I was like, "He never gave me a reply." He's like, "I'll be honest, I kind of forgot. Listened to it, thought it was great. Put in the pile of my recommendation. Let's do it." And you just forget about shit because you got stuff going on every day, right? So when he confronted us, Chase like, "Yeah, no, I'm also for it or whatever." But he didn't. Well, maybe he forgot too. So that's how the whole thing got started. We've done everything by them since. I mean, I think Dylan did maybe a cassette of some of the releases here and there. But all the full length albums, unless there's something I don't know about, we've done them all, the CDs and LPs. So I would think we're still working with them, yeah. But to my knowledge, Dylan hasn't supplied anything else. I don't know, does Dylan have everything? Like I said, chime in here, Dilly. Fucking got anything? Cemetery Lust still working with Hells, or just kick Hells to the curbs? Is Head Split doing it? I don't know. Let me know. But I'm definitely up for it. And I think Dylan's a super fucking cool guy. I've met him twice. I've talked to him several times in email. I think Head Split Records is a really cool niche label. Like, he's doing his own thing, and I think it's a fucking cool thing. It's definitely a true fucking metal underground label. I'm not going to say that I like every release he's done, but hell, I don't like every release Hell's Headbangers has done, but it's all true, respectable metal. There's no embarrassing bullshit on there. Um, cool image, cool everything. His band was fucking awesome. Yeah, I got nothing bad to say about him or anything he's doing. I think he's doing great things for the scene. Definitely a very, very good asset. So, yeah. Let us know, Dylan. And comments, questions, concerns. You know what else, fucking devils? Your job. Put them in the goddamn comments. I'll get an answer bright and early. Later, goddamn it.